Welcome to Sapphire One. This is the introduction to a vendor journal within the accounts mode of Sapphire One. To select the accounts mode within Sapphire One, once we've logged in, we're presented with the modes in the top left hand corner and we select our accounts mode. We then select the drop down in payables and we're presented with the data entry screens under payables. If we go to a vendor journal, we simply click on the name vendor journal and we're presented with the data entry screen for a vendor journal. In this case, I'm going to use the wildcard and I'm going to go and select a particular vendor. In this case, it's AJ White & Son. We're going to go and do a vendor journal for $110 and we enter the vendor journal. I want to put that to a particular general ledger code for that particular vendor journal. I apologise for that. Vendor journal. So we'll go and put that to what should we put it to? Let's put it to stationery, for example. So we'll get a vendor journal there and we'll put the amount in. Now I've got the ability to either type in the title there, the total. So we could just enter the total, or alternatively I could just go on and enter the amount in as well, the net amount being the $100. At this point, if I wish, I've got the ability to attach a particular document to that through the paperclip. By clicking on that, we can go and select a document. In this case, we will go and select a document and we'll go to the desktop and we'll select a particular transaction. So in this case, just a document, and that will turn the red paperclip to green, so it denotes that there's one document attached. By green ticking that now, that will save that as a vendor journal. If we come down to the transaction inquiry screen, we can say, we can go and look at that vendor journal, and we can look that there's a note. Now I've got the ability to also add a notation by hitting the memo here as well. If we come back out here, the column on the right hand side and the standard inquiry screen denotes that there's one document attached, and that's our one document attached here. If we want to go back and look at that for whatever reason, it's simply double click, or we use the open key and we can go back and look at that as an original document. Document management can be attached to any transaction inquiry type screen. We've also got the ability within Sapphire One to add notes at the ledger line. So we've got the ability to add a memo or notes at an overall note there. So we've got the ability to add a note as an overall memo, but on each individual general ledger account we can add our own notations. We've also got the ability to set workflow rules, which we'll cover in a separate maybe under workflows, and then we're presented with a number of screens up in the top left hand corner. A custom screen, so there's additional custom fields that we can add to within the sub-ledger lines and also the overall general ledger line, and we've also got an action, so we can go and add an action to that particular journal. We've also got the ability to have documents attached, which we saw. So there's two ways of getting at the documents. We can click on the paperclip, or we can come up here and we select documents, and if there is a workflow rule that's applied, we can go and look at the workflow rule and we can green tick that, close out of there. The other way that we can do a vendor journal is that we can come up here to our floating toolbar and we can select vendor journal. In this case, we'll go and select the vendor journal and we're presented with identical data entry screen. So in this case, we'll go there, and in this case, I'm going to copy exactly what I did just before. So by clicking on the transaction tab, and that'll bring up a list of every single journal that we've ever done for this particular vendor. Now there's this very large number here. I right mouse click and I can copy transactions. So I'll go and copy those lines across and we go and enter the amount in. That's $110 again, and we've got the same functionality. So here I can go and add the notes again. So I can add individual notes on the actual line. Alternatively, I can add a note on the memo field and green tick that. So two distinct ways that we can do a vendor journal. We've got our accounts payable drop down menu and we've got our data entry screen here, vendor journal. Alternatively, we can go to our floating palette and we can go to the vendor journal here and we can select vendor journal, exactly the same function. And once, as we saw, once that vendor journal's been entered, we can go to transaction inquiry and we can go and look at that particular vendor journal. Thank you for taking the time to watch how we enter a vendor journal within SAP R1.